Hey guys, Jeff here from Whipper Botanical, and in this video I'm going to show you two plants that you can forage for here on the east coast of New South Wales. Quick disclosure, never ever eat any part of any plant unless you're 100% on the identification of that plant, and know that the parts of the plant you're eating are definitely edible. I can't stress that enough. You do not want to eat the wrong plant because you can become very ill. So the two plants I'm going to be showing you today, firstly is tetragonioides. So obviously I have this in a pot, I don't have to forage for it, but this is a very common coastal plant. It does occur in some places inland as well, but it forms these quite sort of dense mats. It grows quite predominantly in understory and coastal vegetation, and its two common names are New Zealand spinach and warrigal greens. The New Zealand spinach obviously gives away a bit of what can be used from this plant. So you eat the leaves just like you would spinach. So you have to blanch this before you eat it. It's very high in oxalic acid, so you need to make sure that you blanch it for about a minute or so in boiling water, and that will just sort of take that out. You drain that water off and then probably give it another quick rinse with some fresh water, and then you can use that in any sort of cooking you want. So you can use it in pasta, soups, whatever you want to have it in. It has one just starting to form now, but one of its key identification features is it has little yellow flowers. This one isn't quite open yet, but it is starting to flower, and obviously it has these sort of triangular leaves. It's pretty easy to identify in its natural environment because there's not many other things that really look like it, but like I said, you do want to be 100% positive on your identification. It's a good one to grow at home as well because, like I said, it's quite a prominent species. It does quite like to dominate areas, so I'm not sure how it goes in containers. I'm giving it a go. This plant I got from a friend, but I know that if you plant it straight into your garden bed, it will take over a significant patch of it, so do be warned if you do plan on growing it at home. It can go quite wild. But it also serves a couple of other features in the garden. Its yellow flowers attract native pollinators, which is good, and because it forms such a dense matting, it does provide some habitat value as well for other small insects and lizards and things like that, and some other beneficial fauna. The other plant I'm going to talk about today is Comeliness. So you can see, some of you might be looking at and thinking I'm holding up Tradescantia luminescence. I'm sure it is not. This is quite a prominent plant. It does grow. It's quite common. Again, it grows in a number of sort of different places, but it is found in over a very wide range, and it's a good little plant to know. So it does look a lot like Tradescantia, which is not edible. So again, you have to be positive of your ID before you eat it. I know this is definitely it. It's growing all through my garden, just naturally occurring. I didn't put it there, but it's a nice little thing to have in the garden. So it's good to be added to salads and stuff. It's just like a leafy green. It's apparently very high in vitamin C. One of its common names is scurvy weed because of its high vitamin C content. So it's a nice little one to have. When you are looking to identify it, one of the easiest tells is when it's in flower. It has blue flowers, where Tradescantia tends to have white flowers. And Tradescantia is very common in coastal New South Wales and other parts of Australia. It's quite a prominent weed. It takes over big areas of understory on creek lines and stuff. So just make sure that you definitely have this plant if you're going to eat it, because Tradescantia is not edible. The flavour is kind of just tastes a bit like lettuce. It's just sort of a leafy green flavour. So it's not like anything crazy in terms of flavour, but it is a nice little addition to salads and a nice little forage crop if you're going to go out and do some foraging. Now I thought I'd do a little bonus plant here as well if you're stuck down to the end of this video. And what I have growing here, besides some Brachyscrums that are getting a bit smothered out at the moment, and obviously the Comeliness growing through here, is Viola hederaceae. So this is a native violet. It's quite a pretty little plant. It forms these nice little mats. It really likes water. It can tolerate quite a bit of shade. And yeah, I put some in here and it's doing really well. But one interesting thing about it is you can actually eat the flowers. So here's one of the flowers. They're if it's going to focus, they're quite a nice little flower, but yeah, they're edible. So they don't really have that much of a flavour, but they're a nice little addition to a salad. You know, a bit of a floral element to a salad. I don't really know about any nutritional value to them, but they are quite a pretty flower with nice purple and white, and I think they would look really good in a salad. So that's another little one if you happen to be growing that, because it is quite a common garden plant. But so if you happen to be growing that, then yeah, there's one you can grab and put into your salads for a little bit of sort of added colour. That's it for this one, guys, and hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up. It helps me work out what content people are enjoying. I really enjoyed making this one, and as always, thanks all for watching, and see you in my next one. Bye for now.